This is the Sports Jawn. I am Ryan Wolfson. In today's episode or segment, we'll be talking about the teams that are 3.5 point plus underdogs that I like to cover in this upcoming NFL week, which is week 11. Last week I went 1-2. I had the Eagles covering against the Packers. They did. I had the 49ers covering against the Rams. They didn't. And I also had the Giants covering against the Bears, and they didn't. This now brings my record to 15-14 on the season. So here are the three teams that I like to cover in this upcoming NFL week. Like basically the last month, there's been a lot of not many choices that are 3.5 plus point underdogs. A lot of the lines have been like 1.5, or like 8.5 or higher. And usually the 8.5 or higher, the teams are pretty much going to cover because they're much better. So with that being said, there wasn't many choices, so let's just get straight into it. Of the three that I chose, I actually like two teams to win straight out. But let's go into the team that I don't like to win, but I like to cover. The Giants are 7.5 point home underdogs against the Packers. No Russell Wilson this week, no Jackson Dart this week. Jameis Winston will be the quarterback. What does that mean for the Giants? Jameis Winston means a few things. He's going to put up a lot of yards, he's probably going to put up a lot of points, and he's probably going to turn the ball over a lot. What does this mean in regards to the points, the game? The Packers, they really haven't been good offensively all year, even though Josh Jacobs might be putting up a lot of fantasy points. He's not putting up a lot of yards per carry or per touch. Jordan Love is very inconsistent. He's a bottom 15 quarterback in the league. Now with no Tucker Kraft, who's out for the year, the rookie Marquise Golden didn't play last week. Romeo Doubs left the game with an injury. Not sure if those receivers will be back this week, but even if they are, they don't have a lot of wide receivers and offensive weapons that they can put out against the Giants pass rush that is ferocious. The Giants did just also fire their head coach, who's their offensive coordinator. The guy that's taken over the head coach will be their new offensive play caller, Mike Kafka. So there's a lot of variables there. Giants are at home. Again, 7.5 points. I don't think Green Bay is that good to go in with basically no offensive weapons and beat a team almost by a touchdown more. So with that being said, I still like the Packers to win this game, but if you're going to give me 7.5 points for the Giants at home, I'll take that to cover. And then these next two teams, I like to win the game straight out. Panthers are 3.5 point underdogs on the road to Atlanta. Atlanta was overseas last week, and they lost. Now they're going to have to travel back home against a division rival. Carolina's a tough team to predict week to week. They beat a good team, and then they lose last week to the Saints. There's a couple things need to know about Carolina. They can run the ball well. They can stop the run very well as well. Atlanta is their main thing is that they run the ball very well. They don't have a lot of playmakers on the edge. They have Drake London, maybe Kyle Pitts. Mike Penix, just like Jordan Love, is a bottom-tier quarterback. Yes, Bryce Young's a lot worse, but I have seen Bryce Young this year not perform well, and the Panthers still have a winning record. I think the Panthers have a much better defense. Atlanta has one of the worst rush defenses in the league, which favors Carolina because they love to run the football, which will keep Atlanta off the field. Again, I think these teams are close, and if you're going to give me 3.5 points with a team with a better record and one team that team also didn't have to travel overseas last week and now they're back, I'll take the Panthers plus 3.5. And then the other team I like is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, are 5.5 point underdogs at Buffalo. I think Buffalo has these points because of their name. Buffalo's not looked like a good football team all year. Their defense has been below average. Josh Allen has actually been not an MVP caliber quarterback this year. He's probably been a top 10-ish quarterback this year. James Cook finally came down to earth last week, had a bad game. I do expect him to bounce back. But again, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and led by Baker Mayfield, they seem to always be in the game. And if you're going to give me, I think this game's going to be a shootout. I think whoever scores last is going to be the team that wins. And if you're going to give me almost 6 points, aka 5.5 points for Tampa Bay to go into Buffalo to win, I'm going to take Tampa Bay in this one. I just think they're a better coach team. I think they have a better offensive roster right now, despite Bucky Irving not playing, Mike Evans not playing, Chris Godwin not playing. Again, I think these two teams are also very close, and you're going to give me 5.5 points. Give me the Bucs because I think they're going to win the game, and you're going to give me almost a touchdown. I'll take that. So hopefully this helps you with your picks for this upcoming NFL week, and you can bet it. My name is Ryan Wolfson. This is the Sports Zone.